you are the most possible insiders of all the insiders in the game.
But I have to say, I haven't seen their questions.
Do you have some kind of technology based on Ton to read people's thoughts?
Copy trading.
I just wanted to say.
Exactly. I always talk about
So
games.
games, DeFi, once again,
games. Yeah,
Games.
And you can do it in AI, I believe, right now, not in
Yeah.
blockchain anymore.
Wow, we have 200,000 users there.
Yes, all these tokens gonna be burned.
It's gonna be our next question.
Yes.
Question.
Oops, sorry,
Really.
guys.
Quote. People got mad a little bit just because everyone understood that you're not gonna become a billionaire for tapping the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Wow.
No way.
No. Hey, Kolo friends, welcome on another podcast from us. And today we have an amazing partner from Ton Ventures, Inal Kardan. Welcome to our podcast. We're really happy to see you here today, man. And let's just kick off with our conversation. I would love to start with a very, very basic thing that everybody asks, but it's required to make our listeners and viewers know more about you. So could you please give us a little information about yourself, about your background, and why are you here?
First of all, thanks for having me. Really pleasure to be here to talk to you guys. I hope it's going to be interesting and fun for our audience. So yeah, that's the main goal, right? I'm Inal, partner at Ton Ventures. Many people actually at in the Ton ecosystem know me as GameFi lead, which I was actually for over a year, starting like May last year. I was like a little bit over a year. I was a GameFi lead there. Before that, I'm used to say that I'm a tech guy because I have like a tech background. I was like a software engineer for a lot of years. And also I'm used to say that I'm an entrepreneur as well. I mean, I had several startups in the past, different areas. But since 2017, I was like in crypto in general. I think the biggest thing I can mention about crypto, I was like building many things at Waves. It was like, there was a Waves blockchain. I guess there still is. But yeah, I was a developer there, developer advocate, head in developer relations in general. So I've been like doing many things there, building products in the Waves ecosystem. I've been there for like 5 years, almost 5 years. After that, I actually switched to GameFi, let's call it so. I had my own game studio, building like different games, not only mobile, but mostly mobile. But yeah, and last year, a little bit over a year, I was like heading the GameFi vertical at Ton Foundation. And 2 months ago, a little bit over 2 months ago, but I joined at Ton Ventures as partner.
Nice. Thank you so much for sharing your background, and we will dive a little bit deeper into Ton Ventures side just in a moment. And for now, to all our listeners, I also need to introduce our shadow warrior, your beloved CEO of Kolo, and just an amazing man, Pavlo. Pavlo, could you please say a couple of words to share with our listeners who you are and why we are here in the studio today?
Yeah, why am I in the studio? Because we are recording the podcast for Kolo. Yes, and thank you, Dmitry, for having me as far as your host here on the podcast. Yeah, the main host. And yes, so I'm Pavlo. And I'm 6 years in the crypto space, and most of my time I've been working as a product manager. And we had an outsourced company. We created the payment processing solution to accept crypto payments. We developed the crypto exchange, and 2 years ago we switched to DeFi. But not the DeFi only, but we made the optimized protocol to accept crypto payments in non-custodial way, which is so extremely gas optimized for Ethereum blockchain. And just recently, we sold this solution to the famous crypto exchange. Yeah, and so currently we are building Kolo. Kolo is like a hybrid wallet for everyday spending with the crypto card, and so. As far as we work in the Telegram ecosystem, we have the mini app with the 9 million users. So we launch our product in 1 month, launching fully the wallet, the crypto card, and so on. And yeah, thank you for having me here.
Thank you for having me. All right, awesome. Now we are fully aware of who we are. Once again, I'm Dmitry. You might probably saw me on other podcasts that we already posted. Probably, I don't know, but I hope so. And yeah, I'm the Chief Business Development Manager at Kolo. Also, you might saw me on Binance, Instagram, and TikTok, and all over the internet. So you might probably know me. If you don't know me, I think it's not my fault, but yours. All right, guys. So you see, it's very informal. condition in here. Like in Kolo, what we do, we actually love miming around. We love having informal stuff. We don't not having this bulky, serious faces. So it's how this podcast is probably gonna look like. And I have so many questions to you, Inal, and I would be happy just, to sit, listen to you, and just, don't give any comments.
Please, no,
But-
no.
but
Let's make it a conversation.
it's just
please.
gonna be boring, then.
Yeah.
So I will be interrupting you, saying some words. Pavlo will do as well. Pavlo loves to interrupt.
Can I
and,
interrupt you guys as well?
Of course, we can
Sure,
fight
sure.
even if you.
No, not here in Dubai, guys. Sorry.
All right, so let's continue with the part of your background. We are very, very interested in Ton Ventures. And, could you please expand on this topic a little bit? Share with us how Ton Ventures have actually started, who is your partner, and how you guys actually brought this idea to make it live.
Yeah, great question. Well, it actually started, I guess, main conversation started May this year, but it was just conversation. But it was announced August this year, late August as far as I remember. There are two partners at Ton Ventures, me and Ian. Ian is also former head of accelerator at Ton Foundation. So I was head in GameFi, he was head in accelerator. So we worked a lot together with many teams. It was really fruitful collaboration, let's call it so, because out of this acceleration program and out of our collaboration, there were really good games, including, for example, Gato, Kardan. We worked with many games in the ecosystem, not only games but games especially. So yeah, we decided that actually moving to venture side of the Ton ecosystem can be more beneficial for the whole ecosystem, because obviously there's accelerator, there's support from foundation, but there should be a next step for most of the projects. Next step is usually to have some external funding. And for that, we actually started okay, let's try to help teams on the next stage, not only on the very early stage of being accelerated or being, getting a grant from the foundation or something like that, but let's help them on the next stage. Let's help them on the when they start actually scaling their business. So because of that, we're okay, but it looks like we just have to do traditional VC. There are VCs in the Ton ecosystem already. VCs, venture builders, our good friends at Top, for example, the open platform. But there are more venture builders other than traditional VCs. There are other VCs as well, but they do not focus solely on Ton. But we actually, both me and Ian, we know the whole ecosystem, right? We know all the projects in the ecosystem. We know what are the pain points. We know a lot of things. So we decide, okay, let's do traditional VC, traditional venture company, which is actually going to invest only in projects in the Ton ecosystem. And we're going to invest as early as possible, but not as early as accelerators actually do, but a bit later, but still early, very early stage. So yeah, this is how it all started. Yeah, and to be honest, there were a couple fun moments. For example, we announced 40 million fund right now. We have 40 million fund. And the thing is, if we would want, we could, raise 100 million for the fund, because there's so much interest in the ecosystem. There's so much so many people saying, please take our money and invest in projects in Ton. Essentially, that's the end description of what you can actually describe what's going on in the Ton ecosystem right now. Right now, we started deploying. We already invested or almost invested on the very late stages of due diligence. We have about 8 projects, I believe.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, we have announced only one as far as I remember. But yeah, usually it takes some time from actual investment to announcement. So yeah, just saying that we started just a little bit over 2 months as for now. But yeah, we already have
2 months and already 8 projects. That's a lot.
Because we knew a lot of projects in the ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly.
already.
Because you're basically from the inside.
course.
You are the most possible insiders of all the insiders in the game.
But yeah, in terms of insiders, it means that we just know all the projects.
Yeah.
So we work closely with the foundation as well, because we believe that we have to help the foundation. Because again, foundation is a non-profit organization, so they cannot do many things that actually should be done in the ecosystem. I mean, they cannot invest in projects. They can give grants, but this is usually not very big grants. This is just very early stage. They cannot be too deep into projects. They cannot
The only
help.
supporters, not in terms of ecosystem support, as they cannot invest, and that you almost answered all of the following questions.
Oops, sorry guys. should we end our podcast here? Or?
All right. Thank you for watching.
Just,
You can interrupt me any moment if I speak too much. Yeah.
No, that's super all right. And like one thing that I think is still missing, I wanted to ask you, would you love to expand to other ecosystems, or you more consider Ton Ventures as ecosystem fund for Ton and Ton only?
Try to guess based on the name of Ton Ventures.
Exactly. But I had to ask it.
Yeah,
So
we
now
focus
we
only
made-
on Ton.
only
We focus
on Ton.
only on Ton products on Ton and Telegram because we're not limited to Telegram, but we see Telegram as like very unfair advantage of Ton ecosystem because distribution is always it's game changer. So we think that products on Telegram with Ton is our main focus. Maybe at some point in the future we will say, okay, we're going to invest in things related to Telegram and not Ton, for
Not
example.
Ton, I see.
I can't imagine this kind of situation, but like probability of it is very, very low. But very important to say that we're not saying like if you develop something and we invest in you, we're not saying you have to do it only on Ton.
Oh yeah,
We're fine.
you answering my questions.
One by one.
Yeah,
without
guys,
even
I have to
asking.
say I haven't seen their questions. I'm just like going with the flow.
You're just reading my mind, probably.
Yes, exactly.
Do you have some kind of technology based on Ton to read people's thoughts? Because it looks like that.
Sorry, guys, I cannot say it on the camera. We'll discuss it after. Yeah, jokes aside, people. I answer this way because I've got many questions about like how Ton Ventures work. So I know what are the common questions about Ton Ventures. So I'm just like going with this like script that I already have in my mind, like what people usually ask about Ton Ventures. So yeah, we're not limiting projects to build only on Ton. We would love them to build on like Ton as a primary chain, but not only on Ton. If you build on Ton and Ethereum, maybe it makes even more sense because you can bring the liquidity from the Ethereum, for example, or Solana or any other chain. So we're completely fine with that. So yeah, I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, you
And
answered
I
it.
have a question also. It's more like a VC specific question about like on this current market. What are the deals timeline? Because we have the current market that is not so good in terms of like funding. Like yes, it's somehow renewed after the bear market. But what are the deals timeline for your VC? How it compares? Whether you benefit from Ton ecosystem because it grows comparing, for example, to Ethereum ecosystem? Yeah. But still, like, can you tell us more about this, about the exit strategies and the expected yield in your VC, or like currently you like just researching the VC perspectives on the Ton ecosystem, and what's your vision on the VC inside the Ton? Because like there is no much tier 1 VCs in the Ton ecosystem. Like Pantera recently invested, like I have seen that Gate Ventures, but still like. You are one of the top supporter and top VC, and how do you see the perspective for the VCs in the Ton ecosystem? How do you, the valuations of the projects comparing maybe to the Avalanche chain, Solana chain, and the VC perspective?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I can speak about it like for 30 minutes, next 30 minutes about like the VC landscape on Ton in general, and yeah, I would say that on Ton we really have an interesting situation right now when a lot of VCs say that they're interested in investing in Ton projects, but actually not deploying money on Ton. This is kind of problem. I don't know the exact reason for like all of them, obviously, but for some of them, they're not just ready to do their own like homework and to do research. I mean, this is kind of ridiculous how many VCs come to us and say like, hey guys, just let us know where you're going to invest and we probably will follow up. Not probably, but like most likely we'll follow up, which is kind of, in my opinion, this is very weird. And this is like I would say this is the general landscape of all the crypto VCs. Instead of doing their own homework, they just like rely on the
like following just.
Yeah, I mean, they just can join around. Of like, for example, Ton Ventures, because Ton Ventures obviously knows the ecosystem like really well.
Copy trading.
I just wanted to say,
exactly.
type of guys who use this function on the exchanges.
Obviously, I don't want to say any like bad words about names you just said because they actually deploy money on their own. Like I don't know, Gate Ventures, Pantera,
No, they really invested. I see that.
I'm just saying that they actually invest. They like do their own homework. I don't know, OKX Ventures. They do a lot of research on the ecosystem. But there are so many like. Second grade, let's call it so, investors who just want to copy trade, like as you just said, which is kind of weird in my opinion. But yeah, I'm not complaining because we will try to help those VCs as well. I mean, because we have a lot of information about the ecosystem. We spend 100% of our time, no, 100, I don't know, 110, 120% of our time, like talking to teams, getting information, doing due diligence, etc., etc. So we will try to help all those, let's call them external VCs. So I'm just trying to highlight, to show what's the VC landscape right now in TON. If we speak about other aspects of VC, like timelines, people do not invest much right now. I mean, VCs do not invest much. Maybe, by the way, maybe because of like things happened in France. But at that moment, we started getting a lot of questions from VCs saying, "Hey, what do you expect in the future?" Blah blah blah. Obviously, everything is fine, is better at least right now, but they're still like a bit concerned. Speaking about like timelines, are you talking about like timelines, like how much it takes?
Deal timeline,
Deal. Okay, yeah.
So.
For us, it usually takes not more than 2 weeks to actually make the decision and sign documents. Like how much time it will take for the wire transfer to your bank account, it's a different question, because it depends on the jurisdiction.
The decision-making process, like
yeah, but decision-making process for us, it usually takes not more than 2 weeks for projects that we actually believe in. I have to say it this way, because sometimes you talk to a team and you have some concerns, and you start talking to them like, "Hey guys, I don't know, we started due diligence and we found this and that. How would you answer this?"
Can you just drop top 3 concerns that you face? I think it's gonna be interesting.
Most of the concerns are related to team backgrounds, to be honest, because most of the entrepreneurs, they're serial entrepreneurs, so this is not this is not their first business. And just one case, I don't want to say the company, but for example, guys that were running Web2 AI related business in the past, they shut it down. But if you Google the name of the service, there are a lot of complaints from people saying, "Hey, we paid for a lifetime subscription and we didn't get a refund." Like, just an example. Yeah. And you start digging deeper into this and like, "Hey guys, what happened there?
Yeah,
like, could you please explain what happened there? Why they are saying that there was no like chargeback or whatever?" And they actually like, "Yeah, this what happened." So just one example. Or another example, you look at the background of founders and you see that they were like founders of the project, which I don't want to say scammed people, but essentially there were like not very good things going on in the team. And you start like asking, what happened? What was the reason? You want to get some details on that. Another very interesting thing what you usually face with is like, for example, there were investors in their previous business. You go to those investors and say, "Hey guys, what do you think about like these founders?" Sometimes they say, "Yeah, they were like really doing the best. I mean, they tried the best, but yeah, business didn't work." Sometimes they say, "We are 95% sure that founders were not doing everything that they could do," or they say, "We are 90% sure that they were like taking money out of the company."
I see.
These kind of things happen as well. So I'm just saying that it is like case by case, depends. But most of the time, it's about team's background. Sometimes you actually also we're faced with problems related to like the business model of a company. Like, "Hey, we're going to, I don't know, launch a token. We're going to partner with a big company with 1 billion valuation." And you have to go to the company, you have to go to get some information that they actually signed a document with this company or going to sign a document with this company. So there are lots of things to do. So yeah, usually it takes like up to 2 weeks to make a decision.
Yeah, it's great that market became that mature. That's top one concern for you is like the second or third time founders, because like on the previous market, almost all of the developers and founders was the first time founders, so they didn't know how to do business in the Web3 and the crypto space. Yes, so and now market became mature, and yes, there maybe was a bad background for some of them, but still it's an experience. I'm not saying about people that scammed their products, but yes, it's good that market is mature now.
I can actually say one thing here is that first-time founders, unfortunately, in like 90% cases, their businesses do not make much sense. Because of that, you do not even consider them as potential investment. Maybe not 90, but 80% of founders, they're delusional founders, as I call them.
But what about the founders who came from hackathons, bootcamps?
It's a good question as well, because, for example, there was a hackathon organized by TON Society, the Open League Hackathon, as far as I remember it was called. And we actually talked to almost 100 teams out of the hackathon. There were like more than 1,000 teams taking part. We talked to all semifinalists, almost all semifinalists that we were able to reach out. And in the end, we are going to invest in 2 out of 100.
But still, good conversion.
Yeah, 2% conversion is not that bad.
It's still so good.
From
yeah.
hackathon.
Yeah, from a hackathon. Yeah. But it was like online hackathon for like a couple months. There were a lot of boot camps. Another hackathon is going on right now, by the way. I have a flight tonight to India. There is going to be a boot camp. So I'm going to just want to understand what's the market there. I mean, in terms of developers and founders in India.
Yeah, I do like how Ton makes these hackathons because it's like the online, offline boot camps. And yes, it's probably one of the biggest currently because like I attended the Ethereum CC and it's more like 5 times per year, but Ton Hackathon is like
every week.
Every week, really.
No, I mean, the hackathon itself is actually for 2 months, but I would say that the boot camps, there are going to be 20 boot camps, for example. I mean, this is one hackathon for like 2 months, but there are offline boot camps for 3 days. Hackathons in Ton, they actually happen twice per year, to be honest. I mean, there was one hackathon this spring, and there's another hackathon going on right now. But there are a lot of boot camps. Like the hackathon lasts for like 2 months, and there are going to be, I believe, 20 boot camps for this hackathon. And this is, in my opinion, this is very important because boot camps are small hackathons as well.
Yeah.
They are for 3 days in different cities. I've been already to 2 boot camps, one in Astana and one in Moscow. Very interesting experience. Like when you talk to developers, there are a lot of developers. Last hackathon this year, during the sprint, I was in Tbilisi, for example, and there were 55 teams pitching at one boot camp.
Offline teams.
Offline.
Wow.
There were more than 1,000 applications for the online hackathon. Obviously, those like 55 are like a part of these 1,000. So I'm just saying that there are boot camps that work really well when you have a chance to talk with developers in person. That's why I'm going to India, actually, just again to talk to developers to understand what they can do and what they can build. So yeah, boot camps work really well. Hackathons, again, like if we count conversion from semi-finalists to companies that we invested in, it's 2%. If we count conversion from like all the participants of the hackathon to investments, it's like 0.2% because there were like over 1,000 applications. But in general, it's still good, right? It's still nice.
You joining the hackathon and you get the chance to get funded by Ton Ventures. So it's a big thing. And for all the hackathon participants, it's also the thing. Because I remember I was in Warsaw Bootcamp last year probably, and I just saw how passionate all the people are there. People are just building, generating new ideas and being thrilled by this thing that they can go to Ton, they can be closer to the team. They see Ton Foundation team in there who just sitting and judging them and getting closer and closer to it. So it's just an amazing thing for all the developers, I think, and not only developers, just to get involved in the ecosystem.
Yeah, 100%. And I also think that hackathon is just like first step. I said that we're going to invest in 2 teams after the hackathon, but I believe there are going to be more teams who will be investable in like next months.
Yeah.
Because again, from the sprint hackathon, it's just like 4 months, but in like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more months, they're going to be more mature. They're going to prove that they actually can deliver good products to us as well. Maybe not now. We didn't believe in that, but we will believe maybe at some point in the future if they keep building. And I believe many teams will keep building. So yeah, I'm just saying that hackathons are good acquisition channel for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, we actually love to support on society with everything related to hackathons. And we actually committed to invest as far as I remember, we committed $750K to invest to projects from this fall hackathon as well. So in the sprint hackathon, we invested, we committed $500K. In this one, we committed even $750 as far as I remember.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And let's come back to the question about VC side. So actually, we already talked about timeline, about acquisition and everything. And what about exit strategies that you guys have and expected yield, like expected return on what you guys do? Is it more about just supporting ecosystem right now, or you're already thinking business-wise when it comes to how to make profit from it?
Great question. We are not this like ecosystem fund which just invests money, which actually like a different form of grants. We are like traditional ROI based VC, so we have to make money for our LPs, for people actually providing putting money into Ton Ventures.
Let's get back to the topic of VC side. So you already mentioned about ROI and that you guys are real like business based on ROIs to your LPs. And maybe you can share like a little more about your exit strategy. So how do you plan to make this ROI on the projects? And in general about your expected yield from Ton ecosystem based projects?
Unfortunately, I cannot say like the expected yield, like I don't know how much money we want to make, etc. But I can say that about the exit strategies, obviously for VCs, we want actually to help teams to build sustainable businesses. We're not like those type of VCs who just like flippers. They will just immediately sell all the tokens after TGE, thank you, and I don't know, just disappear. No, we want teams to build sustainable business. For example, with some teams, we actually have not only, we get not only equity or, tokens, we actually ask for revenue share as well, because we believe that we will help them to build sustainable business. So for us, it makes sense to actually get some part of the revenue or from the profit.
Actually, I never heard of this approach in crypto VC sphere. Like,
exactly, because
it's the first time I hear about it.
We are long term here. We want not to cash out through the token, for example. We want them to build a sustainable business. Because of that, we actually ask for revenue share. So what I would say here is that some teams, they say also, yeah, we have never heard that VCs get revenue shares. For them, for some of the teams, it sounds like you want too much. But we put it in a different way. We believe in you guys that you will be able to not just cash out for the token, but to build a sustainable business. Yeah. And we are long-term investors in you guys, not just like flippers as many others, many other VCs in the crypto space.
And do you think they're going to transpose this vision to other VCs that are joining Ton ecosystem?
It depends. There are also, again, there are always VCs who are just
cash out.
Yeah, just flippers. There are always VCs who invest for the long term. So it depends on VCs. So I believe it will become more and more common. Like revenue share or being more at least like supportive, not just like to prepare for TGE and disappear again, but like supportive like product wise. So yeah, I believe this is going to become better in the future, but it will take some time definitely.
Nice.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you also if you're talking about some revenue sharing. So you expect these products to build sustainable business, and as far as Ethereum ecosystem, for example, only few of the DeFi products really generate revenue. It's only a few of the lending protocols and few DEXs, and almost like 99% of the DeFi products, especially, they just burn the investors' money and that's it, because they are not profitable. And I wanted to ask you about the Ton ecosystem, because it's not only about the DeFi or about the classical Web3 approach. You guys invest in which categories of products? So it's a DeFi, some maybe payment solution, or like consumer application, some advertising solution, or so on. Because like about DeFi, we have the example of Ethereum that only few projects can really generate revenue, because it really depends on the whole ecosystem around how VCs really use this chain, about the interoperability and so on. But what about the other categories? So like consumer applications and so on, what do you expect from them?
We actually say that there are 4 verticals that we believe they're going to be unicorns in the next 5 years. But again, we are not limited to these let's say 5 categories. There's 6, but we'll talk about it a bit later. We're not limited to these verticals, but we think that these verticals should be our main priorities right now. What are these verticals? First, obviously, it's about games, because games, they have proven their traction on Telegram already. And there can be, I would say even not games, but game studios more. Because we do not actually invest in particular game right now. We invest in game studios who actually can build either hyper-casual, social, and viral games, or mid-core games, which will get also good revenue. So games, definitely one of the most interesting verticals. Why also? Because Telegram as distribution works really well for games.
And you have the experience in the games.
Of course. Really. Some experience. Number 2 is DeFi. I think that we should expect some kind of even retail DeFi, as I call it, because let's have a look at Ethereum's DeFi. It's a product for whales. For people with a lot of with not huge but big capital, let's call it so. And all these strategies, like, I don't know, put your USDT in DeFi products, get 20% yield because of the strategies there. It makes sense for them because they do not have like a chance to, I don't know, earn. They have $20 million, and if they put in a bank account, they will just get, I don't know, 3%, 2%.
Yeah.
If they put their 20 million into DeFi, they will get like 4 million, or I don't know, like 20%. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it makes sense for them. So this kind of DeFi, like traditional DeFi, makes sense for whales. But we believe that on Ton and Telegram, we will see like more retail DeFi as well. You can argue that, but retail doesn't make much sense, because if you have 20 million and getting 20% on top of it, it makes sense for you because you earn like 4 million per year. But if you have, I don't know, $2,000 and you put it with and get same 20%, you'll get $40 per year. And this is not like that attractive as getting 4 million, right? It's still 20%, but it's not that attractive. It's not like something that you will say, yeah, I've earned $40. Because of that, you can say DeFi doesn't make sense for like small checks. But at the same time, we think that there should be more experiments on this. Maybe not just like saving products, but more sophisticated, I don't know, strategies. Not to get 20%, but I don't know, 80%, just saying. Or even like airdrop related things with DeFi can work as well. So I'm just saying there are a lot of places, a lot of things to experiment with around DeFi on Ton. Especially for, let's call them small checks, not only for whales. So yeah, DeFi definitely is one of the most interesting verticals on Ton for both sides, for like traditional DeFi and retail DeFi, as I call it. Next, number 3, it's obviously about games. I always talk about games.
So games, DeFi, once again,
games. Yeah,
games.
And
have I mentioned games?
yeah. I was a GameFi lead, so I'm used to talk too much about games. It's about ads on Telegram, like ads market on Telegram. Look at Adsgram, for example.
Yeah,
they have built their business like with really good revenue, as far as I know right now, in like 6 months. Yesterday, I had a conversation with them and they said like we have over 40 people in the team right now. Yes, they have moderation team, biz dev team, etc., but in like 6 months, they grew from 3 people asking us for a grant. We gave them, when I was at Ton Foundation, we gave them a grant for like 50K or something. It's all like public information. They grew to 40 people in like 6 months, and they're profitable right now in like 6 months, just 6 months. And this is just one of the examples. And there are a lot of things to do on top of Adsgram. Adsgram is like fundamentals of everything related to ads, but you can definitely build more things related to ads on Telegram. So this is vertical number 3. Vertical number 4, we call it actually regulated financial services, or like simplified financial services. It can be either this, but like very simple things. I don't know, a person who doesn't want to know anything about DeFi or all these like crypto stuff, he can get something. This is like number 4. Number 5, it's more about creators economy on Telegram, because there are chats, there are channels on Telegram. Many people use them. Just imagine, for example, having a token for a community on Telegram and building a DAO for this community, or launching a game for communities. Or I know a team, for example, they are going to release like next week, I believe. I think I can say it because the podcast is probably going to be out not like too soon. They're going to release a FOMO game. I don't know, do you remember a FOMO game or not? Where you buy a ticket, I mean, there is a countdown, like 1 hour. You buy a ticket. Every time a person buys a ticket, countdown goes back to 1 hour.
Oh, okay.
The last one buying the ticket, and if countdown reaches 0, gets the whole bank. It was like a FOMO game in Bitcoin back in like, I don't know, 2010 maybe, or 2012. Right. Like very old concept of actually making people entertained, let's call it so. And those guys, they're doing these type of things for communities on Telegram. So people actually start playing these like try to get the whole bank for communities on Telegram.
Nice.
Just like random idea. I'm just saying that everything related to communities, including creators economy and tokenomics, very small sovereign tokenomics for communities on Telegram is very interesting for us as well. So these are 5 main verticals that we look at, but we are not limited to it.
I see. And about like we just went through the list of like what do you invest in, and how do you think the valuation for ton-based projects is right now? Because we all more or less know how the valuation is being built in Ethereum and all other chains, but how does it look for a ton right now? What can you say is the average valuation for a ton-based project now?
Also I want to add to the question that the total valuations of the products in the crypto space decreased significantly, like they divided by 2 or even 3 comparing to the previous bull run. And projects truly, like, we built several products. Like, we know that money in Web3 space spent so fast because there is almost no developers on the market, especially experienced developers, and you rather spend money on educating developers, educating the team, or hiring or like hunting the developers from other companies that have like so good salaries. And so these valuations significantly decreased, and especially in Ton ecosystem, we researched a bit before that, for example, top DeFi products on Ton, some of them still have no tokens, and there is no like public valuations. Maybe you have some, I don't know, maybe insights that are already public about the like average valuations for the like already launched DeFi product, or on which valuations product raise money right now on the early stages like seed.
It is very interesting topic to discuss as well, because there's no like a term as average valuation, because it's always depends on the stage of the team or the company. But I would say that what I personally see is if teams come from other ecosystems, if like a team comes from other ecosystems, usually they will ask for like very high valuation. If team comes from Web 2 or they build in Ton for a long time, they say like reasonable valuations. Just because it looks like the valuations of projects in other ecosystems were inflated so much.
But not from AI, I assume,
No,
because
AI
it's
is
completely
like,
inflated right now.
It's completely like I don't know. They're not even delusional. They're like, I don't know. They're somewhere.
They're hyper delusional.
Yeah. They're, I don't know, not in this universe anymore. So yeah, but founders in the Ton ecosystem, usually they actually name reasonable valuations. On early stage, where we consider usually teams are like from 5 to 10 mil valuation, which in our opinion usually makes sense. When like it's usually it's an MVP, maybe some like first very initial traction for these kind of products. In my opinion, like 5 to 10 mil based on the like vertical, based on the idea, based on the team background, totally makes sense. If we speak about more like mature products, like DeFi products, I would say from like 20 to 40 is like typical valuation for DeFi products, for example.
Mature, it means like already with the revenue?
Already with the revenue, already with the team, already like, I don't know, audited smart contracts, and again, some traction, some TVL, like, I don't know, couple 50 million, for example,
okay.
TVL or something like that. For them, from 20 to 40 mil, usually is like more or less fine valuation. I think this is like quite...
It's a fair.
Yeah. I don't want to say fair here because there is no fair valuation. It's still a valuation.
Like on this market,
very subjective thing.
Particularly on this market, like in comparing to the other chains, so
it just makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense completely. I agree, because like the raises on the of the tier 3 GameFi, back in 2021 was like on the 50 million.
Yeah, but what I see actually is the whole crypto is moving to like lower FTV. It's like I believe it's like a meta right now on for most of the projects. Like do as low FTV as possible, for example.
Because market is just getting mature right now. We can now just go to investors, say, yeah, I have white paper, give me 150 mil. It doesn't work.
In Dubai,
you can do
yeah, there are still.
You can do it in AI, I believe, right now, not in blockchain anymore.
Yeah, blockchain is over.
Not in blockchain anymore. But still, there are some teams who actually manage to get a lot of money with just an idea. But you should be a rock star, I believe, to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you should have a really good background to do that. So yeah.
To be well connected, like you should.
Like
people should be familiar with you, with your background, and they believe rather in you, but not in the product.
Yeah,
so.
We as investors want to add on top of this. We as investors, the most important thing for us is always a team. So
it's always
about people.
Yes,
it's always about people.
Yeah,
100%.
Because you can pivot, still build something related to your expected, but if you have a team, it will be extremely fast. If you are like a solo founder, so in the first time founders, you can have 50 mil and you will do nothing with this.
Exactly. And what we actually think is like we even had some like internal discussions where we were saying like, yeah, their idea is like a nonsense right now. It doesn't make any sense, but the team is experienced, so maybe they'll pivot to something different. So yeah, we even have those type of discussions internally at our IC when we actually discuss teams like said, maybe we should invest not in this idea, but in this team.
All right, great. And I would love to move forward to kind of more hot and specific question. And question sounds like this. Ton is in top 10 in coin market cap right now, but the rumors say that most of the supply is still in hands of early miners. How do you see the development and growth of entire Ton ecosystem considering this fact?
Good question again, but to be honest, this is more to Foundation rather than to me right now. And Foundation asked it like, I don't know, 50 times, 100% times. They asked, everyone asks, I don't know, Steve, Alina, every time when they do any public podcast, stream, wherever, people ask this question. It was answered many times, even in
we
the
will
documentation.
attach the answers.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. I believe even in the documentation, there is something about it. So there's Believers Fund where actually, yes, early miners, they locked a lot of their Ton coins. So essentially, these Ton coins are out of the supply right now. What will happen with that? Nobody knows because at some point they're going to be unlocked. But yeah, I believe that most of early miners, their skin in the game is like 100%, right?
they cannot just sell.
Exactly. There's no even enough liquidity, even if they want to do it, which I think is not the actually. I don't think they want it. But anyways, I'm just saying that many of these tokens are locked. They're going to be unlocked. What will happen with that, nobody knows. If you ask me, like, what is my personal opinion, I would say this is not a problem at all. I mean, there are problems in Ton ecosystem, obviously, as in any other ecosystem, but this is not the main issue right now, even for investors.
I see.
I don't believe that the DeFi can solve this because like big whales of the Ton, they are, as you mentioned, the skin in the game, and there is no liquidity even to sell, and they still can. Like now they can unlock their liquidity with, for example, CDP, stable coins, and so on. Yes, that's the point. I think why the Ton Foundation the bullish on DeFi, because they need to unlock the liquidity of this big whales, and so to provide them an option to get money back, not selling Ton and not dumping it to the.
Yeah, 100%. And DeFi is essential for whales. That's
yeah, and so there are whales in the Ton, but there is no options for them right now. So,
All right, and let's move forward to the next one. Thank you for the answer. I actually just wanted to hear your opinion on that because a lot of people, every time I talk about Ton, I share about Kolo, I share about what we build, and I bullish on Ton myself a lot and on Telegram ecosystem in general. And the first thing that I hear from people is always like, okay, and what about these whales who hold most of the supply? Don't you think they're gonna dump it?
You know why they do this? Because every time they hear this question from podcasts as well, and from every like public thing going on. So now you ask this question, more people will be concerned about it, and they will keep asking this question. Yeah. Because obviously they want to hear something like, yes, all these tokens gonna be burned. Something like that.
Yeah.
But this is not truth, right? This is not going to happen at least. At least I'm not aware of this.
I had a different opinion. Like one of my friends, very old builder on Ton, I think they started to build on Ton when Ton was like 1 something, maybe even lower than 1. And what he told me about that, look at this beauty of all this supply being locked in hands of these people. He said that I personally believe in Ton as an ecosystem and that these guys have something in their mind. And comparing to, let's say, ETH or all other decentralized thing where everything is like in supply of in hands of retail, retail is crazy. They just gonna be led by some rumors or something somewhere, and everything falls down. But here, guys are really like focusing on growing the ecosystem, and it's not about making this pump and dump, just get your cash out and that's it. It's all about making the long-term vision. So I believe more in these people than in all the retail that we have in other chains. And I love this idea personally, and maybe it's some kind of cult or something, like it's more about the belief, but I personally just see like it has great potential for the future. It just has this opportunity to grow in rapid access.
Obviously, this is like an upside of this, like you're saying that, like retail, they're like unpredictable, but there's a downside as well because you trust somebody.
Yeah.
which is like obviously we're in crypto. Everyone is for tech, right? For like making the whole fully decentralized technology. It's an irony and sarcasm here, but yeah, I'm just saying that if you have to trust somebody, maybe this is not the best thing that you can have. Because of that, actually, they lock their tokens. They say, you should not trust us, just trust the smart contract. It's locked. So you can be sure that we're not going to dump it on the market like tomorrow. So I'm just saying that there are upsides and downsides. I don't want to say anything bad about retail, to be honest. I think that there are a lot of retailers who actually put a lot of money, time, advocating for protocols they hold their tokens for. I don't want to say that retail is 100% unpredictable. They become unpredictable if the ecosystem is going the wrong way, in my opinion. When they see that the ecosystem is going to the right way, they're going to be advocating for this protocol. They're going to be like doing the most because this is their profit as well.
It should be a quote here right now. I love it.
So yeah, what I'm saying here is do not make people upset, and they're going to be predictable, in my opinion. I mean, retail guys. And having big whales, like, to maybe not fully solve this problem, but to make the problem a little bit smaller, they're locking their tokens, like they're doing the most. So this should be balanced, in my opinion. That's what I'm saying.
All right. So the only thing that I can mention is that we will see.
Yeah,
We'll see how it goes.
100%.
But right now, with the vision that you guys have, that foundation has, I'm just super bullishing on Ton and what's going to happen.
Good to hear.
Future.
Good to hear.
Thanks. All right. And let's come to challenges more. Because, of course, you mentioned that there are problems that are challenges. So my question sounds like this. Top 5 problems that you faced during your time related to Ton. And what are the main challenges product-wise and funding-wise when it comes to Ton ecosystem?
So top 5 challenges first. Challenge number 1 is inability to help to every single team. Because Ton Foundation team was not that big when I joined it. It was like 30 people, I guess. And you're always lacking like time and resources. I mean, now it's maybe even worse. I mean, you do not have physical enough time every day to answer everyone who's texting you on Telegram. This is just impossible. Even if you want to answer everyone and you'll spend, I don't know, 24 hours per day, it is impossible. Because of that, some people, they're like, yeah, you're not answering me. Sorry, guys. That's true. I'm not answering everyone. But just because I cannot do that physically. Even like I hired like a personal assistant who can help me, who tries to help me to like deal with this, but still it is.
I even noticed that in your Twitter, you have the direct link to your Telegram account, so anybody can text you and say that you're open. Yeah, it's crazy, really crazy, because like almost all of the VCs are hiding their personal Telegrams, so because like there is always a spam. But yes, so
to be honest, most of the people at foundation level, at Ton Ventures, people I know, they don't work 9 to 5. They work, I don't know, 16 to 7. This is not a joke. I mean, they're always online. They do their best. But this is challenging. I mean, to not being able to help everyone. This is quite a challenge. And being selective. And sometimes you are very subjective. And you do not... I mean, we all have biases. We all have, like, some background which affects our decisions. So sometimes you make wrong decisions of, like, which you actually have to support. So I'm saying here it is quite challenging not to be able to help everyone. Second challenge, I would say it's always about the strategy of like what to build next and what to focus next. Not to help anyone, but like what to incentivize next. Because I was, for example, taking part in the Open League design. It was like incentives program for the Ton ecosystem, and it was really hard also to like, because there are so many moving parts. For example, you incentivize some DeFi products because you want to understand how it affects other DeFi products. And okay, you get some numbers, you look at them and you think, okay, is it because of our incentives or because of, I don't know, markets moved into some direction? So I'm just saying it is really hard to actually be able to understand what to focus on. Challenge number 3, it's always about people. You have to talk to a lot of people. You have to communicate to a lot of people. Sometimes they do not like how you communicate. You can be the friendliest person in this world, but some people will say that you are not communicating properly. So that's a challenge as well. Obviously, when you communicate with people with different cultures, it's even worse because for some of them, like, I don't know, being polite looks like that you are, I don't know, ready to invest in them, give them all the grants, and for some of them, and they think that, but in the end you said there's not going to be, for example, a grant, and they consider it as like, but you were talking to me, why you were talking? Like, so communications, I would say number 3. Number 4, maybe it's about the pace of how things change. Because things are changing so fast. I mean, in the ecosystem, in general, in crypto, sometimes you just like, it happened like 4 months ago, right? But you go to your calendar and understand it happened like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It feels
things
like...
Things are fast here.
Yes. And this is like quite challenging. Last thing, I think I want to talk here more about hypes. I mean, all these, for example, tap to earn, like hype thing related to...
It's going to be our next question.
Yes, I'm really like...
We have it on the go. Pavlo's ready. Pavlo's like...
So, on the one hand, it's really good for the ecosystem because it brought a lot of users to Ton and Telegram. On the other hand, now I guess everyone is tired. I mean, tap to earn is not that hot as it was like a couple months. But it was a good thing to have in the ecosystem. But we have to make next steps. We have to switch to more like, I don't know,
like
sophisticated games.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Like, yes, with the tap to earn, with all this traffic models, currently it's easy it's easier to achieve, like, to reach even how Hamster Combat, how much users they had, like 270 million last. Yes, it's a quarter of like whole Telegram audience. Like, I think that it's I don't know, it's 100% of the Gen Zs, yes, for all of the Telegram users, and we have the instruments to easily reach these users, and it still works. There are instruments like AdsGram, like this tap to earn games that resell traffic. Traffic is becoming cheaper, and this traffic really works because these users expect they don't really expect something, but they add your bot to their everyday messaging, and you have still the channel of communicating with them. And so the question is, like, we have an option to gain traction, to tell about the product on the really big audience for extremely cheap cost. And what's like you think how to benefit from it in long term for the builders and for Ton ecosystem from this? Because in just a Web2 business, it's so hard to reach that amount of users, but in the Telegram ecosystem, it's so simple to get into your everyday messenger. And maybe you have some insights, maybe you have some internal ideas on how to leverage this to build something sustainable, to build sustainable business with this. Maybe you have some ideas for like builders that will watch us.
The whole tap to earn meta should be considered as just an acquisition channel. This is not about like a product itself. This is an acquisition channel. So if you get, I don't know, 5, 10, 20, 40, 270 mil users, the only thing you have to think about is like where I want to actually lead and lend them, what I actually want to offer to them. It can be, I don't know, just imagine Hamster Combat. This is just like a random idea. Just imagine Hamster Combat launching a DEX tomorrow and saying, hey guys, you can trade, I don't know, not only on-chain stuff, but you can trade shares of companies, Web2 companies. Just imagine. So I'm just saying this is just an acquisition channel. The actual product, sustainable product, should be a different thing. It can be a game catalog. It can be mid-core game. It can be hardcore game. It can be, I don't know, wherever you want to build. But all these like tap to earn meta is just an acquisition channel, period. This is not a sustainable product itself.
And so, like, just some small comment, because we had the same vision at the beginning of our journey. We were sitting the beginning of June, and basically we saw the entire hype on Telegram mini apps, We've been there like when it was just starting. In the beginning, nobody understood how it's gonna go. Like I remember we've been launching one TMA and it got like 200,000 users in there, and comparing to the numbers that you could get with just a web page, it was like, wow, we have 200,000 users there. It's so massive already. And at Kolo, we just understood that it's a great way of getting the users and then putting them to something good. So while everyone was just launching TMAs, just tap, tap, tap to earn, to launch some token in the future, we already had the business deck where we wanted to get the users and put them to the fintech product that's gonna make their lives easier. And so we just saw it back then, and it works, and it really works. Telling us that you can get 10 million users in like 5 months to fintech product, it sounded like a miracle. It wasn't real back then. And now I just see Telegram as a great way of getting the users and putting them to something good. And the trend that I personally track right now is that most of the founders are trying to put this traction to something good. So it's basically like everyone was saying that it's final week of TMAs. TMA is gonna die next week, next month. Sayings like that were since the beginning of summer. And now it really feels like people get tired, especially after Hamster Comeback launch. Like people got mad a little bit just because everyone understood that you're not going to become a billionaire for tapping the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Wow.
No way.
No. Oh my God.
Jesus, probably have to go home. Yeah, sorry guys. I thought I'm going to be a billionaire because of that. Oh no.
And yeah, now it's just way to get sustainable things, with huge traffic and just grow ecosystem. That's also why I'm bullish on the entire thing.
Yeah, but also you have to remember, if you're a founder, that probably only 2-3% of people going to be converted into your financial product or any other more sophisticated product than tap to earn. This is like the reality. Maybe
I
don't know.
Agree and disagree.
Maybe up to 10%, depending on the product.
It's a typical conversion.
Right
it's
now.
A typical conversion for even the banners on the website.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Tap to earn
yeah.
is acquisition channel, and you'll convert 2-3% of people to your actual customers who are going to pay for something. I mean, it can be fees, it can be in-app purchase, it can be whatever. But what I'm saying is acquisition channel looks like some people thought of this acquisition channel as a product itself, which is not true. This is just acquisition channel. Now move on and try to build a product where you gonna actually get your real customers ready to pay for a service, for anything.
I want to mention that there is a big opportunity for the DeFi also, because all these users, not all, 10% of these users have the wallets, really, because they interacted with the hamster combo, they interacted with the dogs, with the cats, with several big launches in the ecosystem, and they already have the non-custodial wallets filled with TON or with other tokens. And really, we evaluated even the audience, and really, I don't know the metrics, but it's 50 cents per each user from if you purchase user for 5 cents, average you have the 50 cents in their balance. It's huge. So and you have the access to this liquidity. So you purchase for $50 1,000 users, and you have $500 of potential liquidity. It's current state, which we made with statistics on ourselves in our mini app.
There is a problem. There's one problem. Let's take, for example, dogs. You have mentioned dogs. As far as I remember, they had about 60 million users overall. 5 point something have claimed tokens on chain. But most of them do not do anything with these tokens. They just keep them on their balances. That's kind of problem. I mean, they claim their tokens. For them, it's either too small to do any kind of transaction. They will pay, too much as a transaction fee, or they just do not know how to do that. Because of that, most of 5 point something on-chain holders, most of them, more than 50%, they do not do anything on-chain. I'm just saying that, yes, you have a lot of people with a lot of liquidity, but they have not done any transaction in a couple months. Maybe it's a problem of education. Maybe it's a problem of too small balance compared to the transaction that you have to pay. So this problem should be solved. How exactly? I don't know, to be honest. So yeah, just saying that it's good that there are a lot of people with $5 in their balance, but not all of them, not even half of them are going to make real transactions
But
on chain.
still, exchanges like iGaming Sphere, they pay like $50 for an average deposit of $10 to their products. Like at least for iGaming business, like they pay $50 for this.
What you're saying here is that
I understand that.
I mean, it's kind of like arbitraging the traffic. Then I mean, you just get.
But exchanging the traffic in the mini apps, it's the same thing almost.
Yeah,
like
but
on the concurrent market.
To be honest, I'm more targeting like developers and entrepreneurs, saying, "Hey guys, yes, obviously you can get some traffic if you develop, I don't know, tap to earn wherever, and resell it to anybody. I don't know, exchange,
That's
iGaming,
what most
wherever.
of them do right now.
Yeah, but if you want actually to have a sustainable business, not just like one time, I don't know, earning of couple $1 million probably, you have to think of how to onboard these people that you. I mean, this is your acquisition channel, then onboard it to something more like sustainable.
Yes, but I say that we still have like this option. So if you have an idea, you have an extremely cheap way to onboard users to reach this user to make it cheap user acquisition comparing to the classical channels. We even tested the adsgram, and it's 5 cents per user. We even tested the Telegram built-in advertising platform, and it's much cheaper than, for example, Facebook.
100%.
With the same motivation. It's not motivated traffic. With the inside the adsgram, it's just the banners. For inside the Telegram advertising platform, it's just it's the ads. It's not the motivated traffic, and the conversion is so good. It's this early stage of the advertising platform inside the Telegram. It's I don't know. It's a blue ocean for the projects that build in the Telegram. So
just wanted to add one small story on top of what you just said. When all these tap to earn just started, maybe not just started, but like earlier this year, there was a fun story when one like tier 1 exchange came to one of the tap to earn products and say like, hey guys, we want to integrate a task to your game, and we want to get traffic from you, but we will pay you only if users not just follow the link but register and pass KYC.
Yeah.
And as far as I remember, they agreed on 30,000 users that have to actually register and pass KYC. And that game actually gave them the needed number in like 2 days. Then they came back, the exchange guys, they came back and say, now we need 300K. They said, okay, no problem. In couple weeks, they gave them 300K people, not just registered, but passing KYC. And exchange guys came back to the game again and said like, okay guys, thank you very much. You actually helped us to reach our KPI for the whole year.
Wow.
Yes. I'm just saying that, yeah, definitely traffic. I mean, if you find the right way how to monetize the traffic that you get, you can do that. Yeah.
But traffic was way more motivated at the beginning, just because, as we mentioned, people were thinking that, I got to become a billionaire from.
I just want to say that Notcoin has done a great job here, because a lot of people earn, I don't know, couple $100 on Notcoin.
Yeah.
And because of that, they were thinking that, okay, I'll get a couple $100 for every single tap to earn game that I will play. And they started playing every single tap to earn available on the market. But obviously some tap to earns, they disappointed their players.
Yeah.
So yeah, because of that, definitely we see that the interest is not that high as it was at early days.
My question is like the Telegram ecosystem is deeply connected with the Telegram app.
You mean Ton ecosystem?
Ton ecosystem, yes. The deeply connected with the Telegram, like this integrated wallet. They're recently launched the mini app, not the marketplace, but at least search for the mini apps. Maybe like this Telegram mini apps made a big boost for the Ton ecosystem recently with all this memes launch with the Notcoin, with the dogs, cats, and so on. And maybe you expect some more updates from the Telegram that can support Ton ecosystem. Just, maybe not the inside, but expectations at least.
I mean,
like
I would say that Telegram and Ton, they're like good partners, right? And Telegram was doing a lot to help Ton in general, like starting from, I don't know, things related to Fragment, where you can buy actual usernames or anonymous numbers using Ton, payouts to channel authors. It is done in Ton as well. So Telegram was doing a lot. if we speak about technical part of it, for example, Telegram updated their mini apps platform. Now you can minimize the mini app, so it does not like actually close. You just like minimize it. You can reopen it any moment, etc. They have done a lot of things to help with adoption of mini apps.
You can now even change the size of the mini app on desktop. On this Telegram application, it's crucial because we have not made it adaptive for the desktop.
Now you have to do it.
Yes, we have now.
Your devs have to think about it now. What I'm saying here is that Telegram is doing a lot for Ton in general. Wallet integration is very important as well. But Telegram never actually. I mean, sometimes Pavel himself posted his channel that these updates are coming, or like these updates were released like recently. But Telegram never actually publishes what exactly they're gonna do with Ton or with Telegram itself. I believe it's true for almost every big tech company, right? They do not post anything in advance. So I'm just saying that Telegram is doing everything that they can to help Ton with mini apps, with Ton adoption, with all these payouts, or also. At Fragment, they added that you can buy Telegram stars with Ton, which is, in my opinion, very important as well. So, and I believe that they're going to also, there are gifts on Telegram right now. And you'll be able to convert them to NFTs in the future. So, they're doing more, the integration is deeper and deeper. What exactly will come in the next couple months, only Telegram knows.
Yeah, I understand, but So.
It was trying, right? To get some insights about what's going on, what's coming.
Yeah, but I mean, I just remember how I was put this seed of my belief in Telegram in my mind. And I was just shared a very simple concept of Telegram being something like WeChat is for Chinese market, but for the entire world, with having Ton as main driver inside of it.
It is. I mean,
it basically goes in this direction. I heard this 1.5, 2 years ago, and now I'm just being all right, I see the traction, I see what I was expecting.
But Telegram is a bit more interesting than WeChat, in my opinion. Why?
Why do you think so?
Because WeChat is a product for actually one market, for China only, and more or less people actually have similar products they use, it's the same market. Telegram is a product for many markets. It is not focusing only on one country. And how people actually use Telegram in, let's say, India and here in UAE, it's two different cases. It's essentially two different applications for the end user. Because in India, as far as I know, this is my personal experience and research I have done there, people use Telegram mostly for group chats. Here, I've never seen people using Telegram for group chats. Or how people use Telegram, in Iran, where people use Telegram for everything. Literally everything. Channels, personal communications, mini apps, everything. And what I'm saying here, it is interesting to see how such a different application on different markets will work in terms of Web3, and how people in different countries will use Web3 for their daily lives.
Yeah, I see. And what you mentioned about different markets is extremely crucial for Telegram. It's literally what brought me in Telegram at the beginning, the vision that it's the entire super app for the entire world. And as further it goes, as more I see integrations that scale it rapidly. I was expecting this separate app folder just before it got launched, and I was shared from all the costs that Telegram gonna make separate app folder. I was like, no, they won't. It will remain bots. And then I just saw that now we have separate app folder, and you can easily access all of the apps that you have. And then they made the separate browser for it, so you can just not leave the chat, go to the app, then you should leave the app to go to the chat. It's extremely convenient right now. And I can only expect what's going to be in the future. So
I think they have the richest product manager in the world. So yes, the product is really good.
Quote. All right. And so maybe one pre-last thing or pre-last thing, we'll see. L2 on Ton. What do you think of it? Why is it needed, or why isn't it needed? And just let's elaborate on this.
Good question. Ton has a different philosophy. If we speak about scaling, L2s on Ethereum, they started emerging and they start growing when Ethereum faced scalability issues, right? Ton has different design, like technical design, but at the same time, there's definitely a space for experiments and for researches of how it can actually work. Not maybe even in terms of like scalability, that can be solved with L2s, I believe, as well. But maybe in terms of like onboarding EVM developers, because there are a lot of EVM developers, like they know Solidity, they know how to develop smart contracts for Solidity, but they know nothing about TVM, Ton Virtual Machine, and how to develop for Ton. And it's kind of problem because you have to teach all these developers.
The architecture is completely different.
Completely different. This is not only about language. This is about like you have to wrap your hand around like completely different stuff.
So the logics is just different.
Completely different because Ton is like asynchronous blockchain. Like everything is a message. So again, this is really hard to get used to Ton if you have some experience in EVM and Solidity.
I see.
So because of that, layer 2s can be an interesting experiment of how things will actually work in terms of like onboarding developers from the like EVM world to Ton. Because again, Ton, this is not only about TVM and scalability, this is about distribution as well. This is about Telegram as well. So we will see like if developers will start building for layer 2 with EVM on Ton, and how I mean, none of EVM chains has such a good distribution channel, right? I mean, like Avalanche, Ethereum itself, they do not have Telegram. They do not have partnership with Telegram. So it's going to be an interesting experiment how things will work. If those developers who were building products for like 10 years
will
already
will
access this market. So it will be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. So yeah, in my opinion, this is a good experiment, both from the technical side. I mean, scalability things. Maybe these layer 2s can be a bit more effective than Ton, and in some cases, not always, but in some cases. And it's very interesting social experiment if we speak about developers. What is important here, there are like, I don't know, 7 or 8 layer 2s that I'm aware of building something on Ton, with Ton. But I have to say that there are some actually teams who do not understand what they're building. They're just like, oh, layer 2s, it's a hot thing. Ton is hot thing as well. Yeah, let's just put it together and it can be interesting. There are some teams. So if you want to build on a good layer 2, do your own research.
Yeah, I see. That's nice. Wow, like I haven't even had thoughts about it before. And the social factor is extremely valuable. And like maybe for a social thing, is it more about just showing to developers that, yeah, here we also have L2s, it's interesting, come here? Or it's more about just giving them more space to build products?
To be honest, at this stage, this is more about, again, experiments. Because, for example, these layer 2s, they're not going to be integrated into the wallet, right? They're not going to be integrated into the Telegram. You are not going to be able to actually, I don't know, withdraw your Ton coins you earned for your channel on Telegram to the L2. You have to always withdraw to the L1, to the Ton chain. Yeah. So because of that, this is more about like, hey, look at this and try to build something. This is an experiment.
Developer acquisition channel. You can just migrate your EVM product here, which is like the main thing here. I think that developers can migrate. You migrate their products because they are tested, audited, like, and sometimes even mature. So like I know that Curve deploying their Curve on the layer 2, and I don't know. Yes, it still is the space for the experiments, because personally I don't know how it will contribute, but still it's a good platform to to test this acquisition channel of the EVM products.
100%. Yeah. This is more about like seeing how things will go. I don't think that the products on these layer 2s are going to be as well as integrated as products on the layer 1. I mean, on the original Ton chain. But we will see. Maybe at some point, I don't know, some wallets. There's not only wallet at Telegram, right? There is, I don't know, Tonkeeper, MyTon wallet, and other wallets. Maybe they will integrate, I don't know, these L2s right in the wallet, and you'll be able to sign a transaction in the L2. Something like that.
Yeah.
And bridging that.
And bridging, like seamless bridging, something like that. Maybe they will do it. If so, we'll see how things will work out.
All right. Nice. And let's go to the topic that is crucially interesting for me. You mentioned it already when you were mentioning the list of products that you guys interested in investing, and it's about simple payment solution. So we all know recent cases, Tether with Ton, USDT on Ton. I personally loved it very much because I got tired of paying $3 per transaction in Tron, and everyone around is using Tron. And so basically, when Ton announced that USDT gonna be on Ton, I was like, yes, please. So about this topic, like, what do you generally think is the future of cross-border payments in Ton? And right now we see that Solana is investing a lot in payment solutions, and other chains are also going in this direction. Because what is the main implementation for crypto for most of the people? It's still transfers. Especially like in recent years, we see that it's way easier for you to make the transfer abroad just using crypto. Because we've been just reading the research a couple of days ago, and right now average cost per transaction in banking is like $44 per foreign transfer. And it's like, what? You're just spending the fortune. Like in some countries, it's a monthly living amount for people. And you're just spending this just to send it to somebody abroad. And crypto is a great solution to fix it. And how do you see Ton, and especially Ton Ventures, investing in this kind of products or moving into this direction?
Yeah, great question again. Thank you.
Thank you.
We think this is one of the most interesting verticals, everything related to remittance and simple financial products. Even if we look at WeChat, for example, and how things were like growing there, I mean, financial services, it was always about like simple payments, purchases, simple saving products. So we think that this is one of the best areas to experiment like right now on Telegram and Ton. Obviously, wallet itself has done a like really good job, because I don't know, to make it transfer to your Telegram account, to your Telegram contact right now, it is really simple, right?
Yeah.
You just like put a number, press send, that's actually it. But there are some like legal, not concerns, but like barriers for people who actually want to build these kind of products. For example, wallet, it is not available in some countries.
Yeah.
I mean, the wallet on Telegram is not available because you have to think about the compliance always. And I would say this is the biggest challenge. If we would see any kind of regulations here, or like clear compliance guidelines, how things should work, it could be easier for anyone to build these like remittance products, like payment solutions, etc. But we do not see them right now. As a potential solution, maybe it should be more like MPC wallets, or it should be like fully like self-custodial wallets on Telegram. But again, they're not going to be as friendly as the wallet is right now, because wallet has two sides. It has custodial and non-custodial. The custodial side is very convenient. When I show this part of the wallet to anyone who's not like crypto savvy, they're like, wow, is it that simple? I say, yes, it is. With custodial side, which is called Ton Space, it's a bit harder to onboard people.
Yeah, of course.
So what I'm saying here, unfortunately, we do not have like clear guidelines about the compliance here on the market in general. On the other hand, to avoid compliance, you actually have to build only like fully like self-custodial wallets, which are not very user-friendly. So there are downsides for like and disadvantages for both directions.
Even for the MPC, like, yes, it's still the point of discussion for the legal teams, because like the MPC is still the company owns the shard of the
Correct.
It's still it's not the custodial, but neither like non-custodial.
Yeah,
and
not
it's
fully
like you can
non-custodial,
censor somebody, like somebody can still. What happens if somebody hack your server? So who is guilty? Like,
and also on-ramp, off-ramp is also like quite tricky here, because if we want people to be able to actually buy using like their bank account, you have to have on-ramp, right? For on-ramp, you have to do like KYC, AML, all these things. So I'm just saying that one of the most important markets and one of the most interesting markets right now is about crypto payments and remittance. But it is really hard to build business there because of the compliance and regulatory stuff. So we hope at least, that it's going to become better, but definitely again will take some time. But maybe it's right time to start building now, because if you start building now in like a couple of years,
see why I was smiling.
Yeah.
We started already
launching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the right time to build now, because if you start building now, when everything related to like compliance and regulatory stuff, when it's ready, you'll have the product.
Yeah,
So you'll have an advantage of launching fast.
And I think here, a very important part is, as you said, the background of the team. Because in Kolo, like our co-founder has been building fintech products since 10 years. And basically, you know, the entire part about compliance, I always dreamed about being involved into crypto payment business and, you know, actually doing something related to transferring money from one point to another. But the biggest concern always was about legal. Because, you know, without having the proper experience and facing tons of mistakes that projects have been facing since the beginning, you're not going to be able to provide a high quality and, what is important, stable service for your clients. And what I just personally see that, you know, people lack the trust. So whenever you launch the product related to payments, you need to be stable and secure for them. If you make even one small mistake, it's already the huge damage for your reputation. So at the beginning, where we're just, you know, writing down the business deck for Kolo, like one of the most important things for us to make it as stable and secure as possible for our users at first. And the second thing was to make it simple, as you said, because, you know, I personally joined the crypto space not that while ago. And at the beginning, like coming back from traditional finance background, I just saw that everything is freaking complicated. I was opening DeFi apps, I was just scrolling around and I saw it looks like crap. I do not understand anything from here. And it was also the point that I wanted to mention when we talked about education before, that education in crypto is extremely important. And I was really thankful to Binance Academy back in times, just because it was simple and, you know, showed everything right on the surface. And I think in the future, projects that will go deeper into education on Ton will be extremely profitable 100%. And, you know, make a lot of effort to the space. And still coming back to the topic, it's important to make products with great UI and UX. And so basically, as I say, even your grandma can open it up and understand that I click this button, I send the money to my grandson, or I click this button, I receive the money from my grandson. It should be easy.
I want to say one controversial thing here about mass adoption. When people say that, yeah, we want our products to be understandable for our grandmas or parents or wherever, I don't think this is going to happen, to be honest. I don't think your grandma or your parents will actually start using crypto.
It's so complex. It's so complex technology.
This is not even about complex. Like bank accounts, they were. This is really simple. They are simpler than cash, for example.
Yeah, that's true.
But how much time?
Depends on which bank you have.
Yes,
actually.
really.
If you ever seen European banking, it's
really
trash.
It's really so. For crypto, it's much easier.
No, I'm not comparing it with crypto, but like bank account compared to cash, in my opinion, like bank account is usually easier because I don't know, to make a transfer, you should not go anywhere.
Yeah,
right?
that's fair.
And what I'm saying here, how much time it took to actually onboard people from cash to bank accounts. It took 10, 20 years. And in my opinion, this is way important right now to focus on young generations and to actually onboard them to crypto because they're not onboarded as well. Yeah. And when they become grandmas and dads, that's going to be okay. Now everyone uses crypto. Instead of imagine your grandparents actually using crypto, using DeFi. I cannot imagine it. I cannot imagine even my parents doing that. Because this is going to be something completely new for them. And as we get older, as human being, we do not want to try anything new, right?
But actually, I kind of disagree with you here because I was talking more about payment products, and payment products are actually related to having your parents use them right now. So as a simple example,
how many times your parents do cross-border payments?
Whenever I send money to them. And
you send money.
And this is the thing that, sometimes it's very complicated, especially with European banking system, to send something to your parents. And, just literally to have it easy, especially when you have most of your assets in crypto. And so with solution like ours, let's say, I can just make a crypto card for my dad, Kolo account in his Telegram, send him money directly, and, he can just get the card and go pay for his daily needs. And this is the beauty of this simplicity. And as you said, for younger generations and to onboard them to something more complicated, that's why we have hybrid wallet. We have custodial, self-custodial, and Web3 solutions. So basically covering every type of user who comes to us. So for people like myself, for example, I love simple and custodial things. I just love not to, take care of that. I just click, boom, and it works. So for people like me, or like for older guys, it's just a thing with custodial stuff. Self-custodial holds the people who are somewhere in the middle. So for those who still don't want to go that deep in Web3, but still they want to have some kind of decentralized thing in their daily goods. And of course, Web3 users who really want to have everything decentralized. I want to have my seed phrase. I want to be like very separated, but still use your app, guys. So that's why we kind of taken this approach to make our users happy, because we have very different types of people in our app.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, but I just want to say here that if we speak about like real crypto adoption, I usually speak about like on-chain, because I do not consider I don't know, centralized exchanges as like really as crypto, to be honest.
But don't you think that it's something in the middle? Like before, like we were talking about it with Brian from GSR, that before before onboarding people to DeFi, they still have to go to centralized exchange and understand how it works. Without going through this layer of CeFi, you still won't be able to reach DeFi.
Agree. I mean, that's why actually the wallet that Telegram also has, like custodial and custodial. It's like the same thing. But what I'm saying here is that I do not expect your parents, for example, to be onboarded to DeFi.
Yeah,
they probably will stop at the centralized exchange or custodial part.
Yeah.
They will not go further. That's what I'm talking about.
That's true. That's true. But still, like in my vision, having more people even somehow involved in crypto is already better than having them fully not aware of what is
100%.
happening. Because whenever people are asking me, crypto, what is this? Like, it's this scam, like you have some fake coins or something, you know, like it shouldn't be like that in 21st century. Right now, it's the future, and basically even your grandma should be already aware how to use some centralized solution just to be kind of more deeper into the topic.
I agree.
But still, like, it works mostly for emerging economies and developing countries, because like in the United States and in Europe, there are stable banking systems. Yes, and in the emerging countries, I recently found the research on how do, for example, people from Bangladesh, India, on the popularity of different payment solutions, and like all of them use their local payment methods that are completely different. Some of them send money through their mobile phones. Some of them use PayPal, really, and some of them just use mostly the cash. And if you compare these emerging economies, they don't have this unified interface, you know, they have just different regulations, different payment methods in their countries, and they have, for example, if you come to their country with your crypto product, no matter how you done this, you can do this like Revolut, or you can do this like a wallet, which is so simple, but it will be not familiar for them. So because they are familiar with sending money with the SMS, for example, from their mobile phone, and they don't understand the money in the blockchain. No, it's on the SIM card. Like that's how it works for emerging economies, because there is no big adoption of the Visa, MasterCard. They don't know what is the banking system. So that's a tricky point for crypto also, and that's why I think that Circle, Solana invest in the cross-border payments, because if the founders know how to do business in, for example, in African countries, in the Latin America, they know how to reach this audience, how to work with them. They have on and off ramp methods. They deploy like 10, 20 million. I've seen the round when company raised 25 million for the cross-border payments in Africa. Like, it's extremely small checks, but still like 25 million, and VCs do believe in this region.
This is actually interesting stuff, because I've been to Nigeria. I was there actually just to make a research of how people use crypto there. Apparently, people do not use crypto for payments at all. They use crypto for like they want to earn something. They want to get like life-changing money, but they do not use it for payment anywhere. Maybe sometime they do if they interact with people abroad. Yes,
it's like spending a gold, you know. It's like paying with the gold for water.
No, I mean even they do not use centralized exchanges to pay for anything. I mean, I would expect that they will use it because inflation is quite high there. But instead of that, they just still like every time they want to make a transaction in real life or to transfer money to their friends, they do not do it in crypto. They convert through P2P to their fiat, and then they actually do a transfer using the mobile number, which was quite interesting for me. I was surprised to see that, to be honest. I don't know why. I asked them, they said like there are no places where you can pay in Nigeria. At least some like ton-related local guys, they said that there are no places in Nigeria where you can pay
But
with crypto.
in between, like
In between
just
people, also they do not do it. They do it sometimes, but not often.
maybe because of like they have no limitations on the transferring some,
Or
like,
maybe because
Naira
of there is no like regulation as well about like all of this. So yeah.
Already they already have. Like we recently had a meeting with one of two regulated Nigerian exchanges, and they are doing a great job. So the SEC, you've probably seen this news about the Nigerian department of the Binance.
Of course.
So like, and it's more or less related to the P2P because they really inflated the rate of the Naira. And we discussed it with the founder of the licensed exchange in Nigeria, and they are so bullish on this. Despite they are even launching the crypto card also, so they believe that their users, like, you know, they will use this card payment solution, paying with crypto without off ramping before. So like, and but they have their, I can't say that government support, but still, if you're one of two licensed local exchanges, you have a big opportunity.
Yeah, I'm just saying that for some reason, I do not see like a big adoption even with like young generation for countries like Nigeria, where I would expect that the adoption of crypto would be very high, like very high. In 2024, we're like, how many years? 12 years, 16 years in crypto in general, if we take Bitcoin. So yeah, I would expect very like a good penetration, but it is not there. I mean, at least according to my observations.
Nigeria is like a second country in the list of the Chainalysis adoption report. They just launched like this month. I like, you know, I thought that I never been to Nigeria, but I thought that they, you know, use the USDT on their daily basis.
No. I mean, I've been to two cities there in Lagos and Akure. So like Accra is quite small. Lagos is, I guess, number 2 in terms of like population. I try to find a place where I can pay with crypto. I literally asked like, is there a place where I can pay with crypto?
But still, like the places where you can pay with crypto, like even in the United States, it's not so like. You cannot
No,
pay
I mean
with crypto
maybe not even the official way to pay with crypto, but just like, hey, I want this bottle of water. Can I pay you $1?
I think that it's more in between people. Like for example, if you like in this emerging economies, a lot of people do not pay taxes really, and they exchange the values like a USDT, for example, for providing some services of design, development, and everything. And I think that's the market, and that's why like the Chainalysis consider this a top 2 country in terms of adoption, because yes, the government maybe do not allow businesses to accept crypto, but they have no on and off ramp solution, because if you want it's a business accept crypto, you still need a Naira to spend it. Yeah. You cannot pay in USDT with your contractors.
Yep.
Yes, but in between people, I think that they still can they exchange the USDT.
I mean, there is some adoption. There is some adoption, obviously, but I just wanted to say that I expected like better adoption and better penetration.
I do like that here in Dubai, like you can just come and you can purchase the apartment, car, like you can pay for almost.
Do you know how it actually works underneath?
With the exchange, with the cash exchange, but still the adoption.
It's just like Odyssey.
They know what is like pay with crypto, and it's legal.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
that's the main thing.
For you as for example, customer, you pay in crypto and you don't care about the rest. Yes, you pay some fee as well, but you don't care about the
penetration
rest.
of these exchanges to businesses is so big.
Yeah.
Like that's the main point.
True.
So they just make the exchanges legal, and so that's it. You can pay for almost everything here.
All right. And I will slowly come to the final part of this podcast today. And I would love to finish it with some kind of conclusion, with some kind of teaching for all the new Ton joiners or for the founders who are just appearing in this space. So can you give your top 5 pieces of advice to newborn founders, if I can call them so?
Yeah, of course, 5. Hard to.
If you want, could be 3.
No. The problem is the opposite. Like how to get top 5, not like top 10. Okay, I would say the first one is Be flexible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in terms of like your idea and what you actually built. Do not fall in love with the idea of the product that you want to build. Be open for pivots. Number two, I would say do not hesitate to actually copy and maybe even steal some ideas from existing ecosystems. But at the same time, do it wisely. It means that think about Telegram, think about distribution, think about what are the advantages of Ton and Telegram. So copying is okay, but copying and making products better because of Telegram is the best thing that you can do. Number three is, I would say it's about being in the ecosystem. Like, you should not just build. You have to interact with people in the ecosystem. You have to be presented. You have to talk to people. You have to have partners. You have to do your homework in terms of like communicating with other projects in the ecosystem, because usually you can do a lot of things not alone but together with somebody. Number four, it's about expectations. I mean, you have to be able to build your product without any help. This is the best case. Obviously, you have to ask for help from foundation, from Town Ventures, come and say, hey, we want investment. This is like completely fine. We are looking for that. But at the same time, be ready that you will not get anything.
Yeah.
Be ready for the worst case scenario. Be ready for that. Because at some point you can realize that this is not the worst case scenario. This is the reality for you. So this is very important to be mentally ready for this. And number five, keep building.
Keep building. Just
keep building. Like, people will say a lot of things. People will say this is, rubbish. This is good. This is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep building. Keep building and but at the same time, flexible, as I already said.
Yeah.
But keep building. And at some point, you definitely will reach the success.
Amazing. I think it's a great way to end this podcast. And I'm just very thankful to you, Inal, for joining us here today and having this beautiful conversation. As always, 2 hours went like that. It was extremely cool to discuss all the topic that we had. And for our listeners, once again, you will have Inal's Twitter here, Pavlo's Twitter here, my Twitter here. Go check Kolo, go check Ton Ventures, and just generally check what is happening in Ton space right now, because a lot of potential in here. A lot of potential. And don't forget that in Kolo, we show faces, not just talk on the spaces. See ya, guys. Have a good day, and see y'all on the next podcast. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.